Well, hello again, everyone. Professor Profit coming to you from Gamblers University, and we've got another in our series of DGE strategies. This is session 2, and this one's a little more involved than the first session, but I hope you'll enjoy the video. It's a $5,000 buy-in, $10 minimum bet table, and yes, that is a big buy-in, but the way that DGE bets some of these things, you need a big buy-in so you're covered in case you go on a little bit of a losing streak, which we all know can certainly happen at the craps table. So I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, we ask for the old thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, we'd love to have you hit that button and become part of the channel here at Gamblers U. Now, as always, we do suggest that you try these strategies on your software or your table at home before you take them to the casino. Be sure you're comfortable betting them and confident they can win you some money. Now, we do value your comments, so if you have a tweak you think might improve this particular strategy, please leave it below, and we will share it with the class and see if we might want to incorporate it in future sessions. So we'll see you down on the felt shortly. We'll explain the nuts and bolts, session 2 of the DGE strategy. See you down there shortly. All right, back with session 2 in our DGE strategy series. $5,000 buy-in. This is a $10 table, $10 minimum bet table. So we've got quite a big buy-in for a small minimum bet, but that is how DGE plays it. So we're going to do it as closely as we can to his. We're going to expand on what we did in the first session. And this one we're going to start again with $10 do don't here on the pass line of the don't pass. And let's roll. And that is a hard 8. So on 6s and 8s on the come outs, we don't do anything as far as betting. So we'll just roll this out. And there's 6, and there's a 7 out. So we'll do the Dewey Donut once again, and we're coming out, and there's a 10 easy. Now this is one we can do something with. We're going to go ahead and bet as many odds as we can. 60, now he usually does 100. Craps, he won't let us do that, so what I may do is go ahead and increase the Dewey Don't to 20. So next time we can do the full $100 odds bet. Since we can't do the $100 and we can't go all the way across, which is what DGE does. He'd do 54 across, but we'll just do inside bets here, and that'll be 44 inside. So we'll still lose some if we 7 out on this particular roll, but let's go ahead and roll it here and see how we do. So there's the 9. So we do hit the first one. It's a $14 win. So let's go ahead and take the 2 outside ones down. That leaves a $24 bet. So we'll leave this at 60. So if we 7 out, we'll still win 30 and win $6 net if we 7 out, which we did. So that puts us at $20. And let's go ahead and increase to 20 on both the Dewey and the Don't here. And that way we can bet the full 100 if we need to. Okay, there's the 10 again, 10 hard this time. So now we'll do that $100 bet on the don't pass, $100 odds on the don't pass. And we can go across this time, 54 across. And let's roll it. So there's the 8 easy, so that's one hit. We'll take down the 2 outside numbers. And that'll leave $34 at risk. So we're going to decrease the odds bet to 60. And we'll still be a little bit of a loser if we 7 out, but not enough to worry about. So let's roll it. And there's the 8 easy, so that's another hit. So we'll take the 5 down now. And that leaves $24 at risk. So we'll go $50 in odds. That'll be a $25 payout if we 7 out. And we'll be a net $1 winner. So let's roll it. And there's a 10 easy. So we do get knocked off of our 10. So let's take down the 6 and the 8. And we'll come back up with the Dewey Don't for 20. And we lost $50 on that 10 when we got knocked off. So really you have to, on the dark side, you have to triple your bet to make it up. So we're going to come out with a $150 lay bet on the 10 to try to make up for that $50 that we lost. So there we go. And that's AC Deucey, so that doesn't mean anything. 8 easy, so nothing else to bet. We'll just see if we can get the 7. There it is. So we get our money back, and now we'll come back with the do don't, 20 on the pass line, the do, and 20 on the don't pass, the don't, do don't. There's 2 craps, so we just repeat the bet. We don't lose anything. And there's that 10 again. So let's do $100 in odds and 54 across and see if we can have a little better luck this time. So there's the 5. So we'll take down the 4 and the 9. We'll decrease the odds bet to 60 since we only have $34 at risk now. So let's roll it again. 4 easy, no help there. And there's the 5, so that's another win. We'll take down the 5 on that one, and we'll decrease to 50 on the don't pass odds. Here's Yo 11, and we're looking for a 6 or an 8, and we get knocked off the 10 again. So we lose 50 again on that one. So I think I did 150. Really, we only need to do 100. And we'll make that $50 back if we 7 out here. So let's go ahead and roll it. And there's the crap. So we're just going to replace pass line on that. That's the only number you can lose on the come out. And we managed to find it. And there's a 6. And we get knocked off the 10 again. So that's a $100 loss. So now that's $150. So now we got to go a $300 lay. And you can see now why we need the $5,000 bankroll. So there's 2 craps. No field 5, 2 craps again. No field 5 again. And there's a 9, center field 9. And there's a 6 hard, so we'll come back up on the don't. And there's a 7 out. So we win our money back on the lay 10. So let's go ahead and put our 20 on the don't here, and we'll start over. So there's the 3 craps. So we lose the pass line, but we win on the don't pass, so that's a wash. And there's a 9 on 9s. We come out, we're going to bet just on the 6 and the 8, and that'll be $12 on each. So let's roll it and see if we can hit one of those. There's a 6, so that's 1 hit. And there's the 8, that's 2 hits. So that's 100% profit on your investment. So let's go ahead and take these down and roll it out there, not get too greedy. And there's the 9. So let's come back up with our don't pass line bet, and let's roll it. And there's a 6, so we don't do anything on 6s. And there's the 8, and there's a 7 out. So we win the don't pass, lose the pass line, so that's a wash. And there's a come out 7, so we'll repeat. And there's the 9. So after a 7, if you throw a 9 or a 5, then you bet the 6 and the 8. So let's do that, and it'll be $12 on each. And see if we can hit them again. There's the 8, so that's 1 hit. There's the 8 again, that's 2 hits. So let's take them down now and roll it on out. There's another 8, 8 easy. And there's the 9, so we'll come back up with our don't pass line bet. And there's the 8 hard this time, so no bets on that. And there's the 7 out, so we'll get our pass line bet back up. And there's another 7. And there's the 8 easy, so we don't do anything on the 8. And there's the 7 out, so we'll come back. There's another 7. We seem to be hitting a lot of those lately. And there's another 7. And there's an 8. 7s and 8s are plentiful right now. Another 7, 7 out. And there's a 6, 6 easy. And there's Yo. And no field 5. No field 5 again, a repeater. And there's 6 hard, so we'll come back up with the DP. And there's 4 easy, so we'll do a $100 odds bet on the 4 and the 10 when those come up. And 54 across. And we hit the 5, so we'll take down the 5 and the 10. And we'll reduce down to 60 on our odds bet. And roll it again. And there's the 4 easy. So that's 2 4s in a row. So we're going to go ahead and lay it. We lost 60 on that. So we need to bet 120 to win that money back. So let's put our DP up, and then we're going to lay the 4 for 120. And that way we can win our $60 back if we throw big red here. So coming out, here's a roll, and there's a 6, so no additional bets above what we have. 3 craps, and there's the 4, so we get knocked off the 4. So that's $180 we've lost now. So now we got to come back with 360 to make that up. So let's do that. And we're rolling. Here we go. 7 out. Okay, we needed that. We got our money back. We did lose the VIG, so we're down a little bit, but we're not going to worry about it. So let's just start over and come out to 8 easy. And there's yo 11. Again, when we throw a 6 or an 8 on the come out, we don't do any additional betting. 3 craps, and there's a 7 out. So we'll repeat our bet, and we're coming out. And there's another 7, so we'll repeat our bet, and coming out again. And there's that 4. So let's do 100 in odds and 54 across, and we're rolling. 6 easy, so we'll take the 2 outside numbers down, the 5 and the 10, and we'll reduce the odds bet to 60 since we don't have to protect as much on the place bets. And there's 10 easy, so that's 110, and there's 8 easy, so we'll take down the 9 now, and we'll reduce the odds bets down to 50 since we only have 24 at risk. If we hit the 7, we'll get 25 on the dark side, which will be a $1 profit. So let's see if we can hit the 6 or 8 now, and we can take the odds down. There's the 6. So let's take the place bets down and the odds bets down, and that'll leave us just the Dewey Don't again. And if we can get another 10 or a 4 before a 7, then we can do a lay bet, because that'll be 2 of those since the last 7. And speaking of 7s, there's one right there. So let's go ahead and get our pass line bet back up and start over. There's a 7. So we lose the DP, but we win the pass line. So that's a wash. 6 easy, so no additional bets. And there's another 6. So we'll put the DP back up since we lost that, but we went on the pass line. So once again, a wash. And there's the 5. So on the 5 and 9, after a 7, we'll come up and bet the 6 and the 8, but the last number was a 6. It was not a 7, so we're not going to do anything here. So we just continue to roll. And there's 3 craps, and there's 4 easy, so that's 1 4. We can do another, and we can do a lay bet on that. So let's go ahead and get our DP back up, and there's 12 craps. So we do lose our pass line bet. We'll just let that slide. And there's the 4, so that gives us an opportunity. That's a come out to, actually that's not a come out. So let's take that down, and we can go ahead and lay the 4 for 40 now. And let's roll, since we had 2 4s since the last 7. And you can do the same thing on 10s if you hit those, and there's one of them. And I don't know if we have another one since the last 7. No, we don't. That's the first one, so we'll stay where we are. And we're rolling. There's 8 easy, nothing there. There's 9, center field 9, nothing there. Yo 11, and there's the no field 5, and there's the second 10, so now we can do a lay bet on the 10 also. There's the 9, another 9, and that's 18 rolls on this particular shooter. And there's the 8 easy on number 19, and we get knocked off for 4, so we'll come back with a $80 lay bet. To make up for the 40 that we lost. And there's the 5 again. And that's 8 easy. We should have put a don't pass line bet up. We did not do that. And we get knocked off the 10. So we'll come back up with $80 lay on the 10. Yes, we got a really hot shooter here. 6 hard, 3 craps, center field 9, and there's the 7 out. Okay, that was kind of ugly on that one, but we did make some of it back. We would have made it all back if we'd remembered to place the don't pass bet down, but we did not do that. So that is my fault. If we played it like DGE does, we would be at an extra $20 on that, and that would have broken us out pretty much even. Okay, so there's the 4 again. So $100 odds bet, 54 across. And let's roll it. So there's the 5. So the 5 and the 10 come down. And we'll reduce the odds best to 60 now. And that'll be a $30 payout if we hit the 7, and we got $34 at risk. So we'd still lose $4, but we can live with that. So next roll, and there's the 5, nothing there. And there's the 9, so that's another win for us. And we'll reduce down to 50 on the odds now. We have 24 at risk. If we hit a 7, we'll win $25 on the dark side. And there's 12 craps, boxcars. And there's a 6 easy. That's another hit for us. So we'll take down the place bets, the 6 and the 8, and the odds bets, and then we'll just roll this out. There's 6 easy, 8 hard, and 7 out. So let's do one more shooter here. Coming out, and there's the 10. So let's go ahead and do a $100 odds bet, and 54 across. And we 7 out on the first one. So we lost $4, so that doesn't hurt us that bad. And that's why we do the DP odds bet to protect us if we do get a 0.7 out. So that is session 2 of the DGE strategy. This one was a little more involved than the first one, and I hope a little more entertaining for you. There's a lot of components to it, but he explains it real well. And once again, I will link his channel in the description box below, so you can go over there and look at the original DGE strategy taught by Drunk Guy Explains himself. So the DGE strategy, session 2, we hope you enjoyed it. If you did, we ask that you give us the thumbs up. And we also would like you to subscribe if you haven't already. We would appreciate it. And also, if you have any comments, please leave those. That'll help the algorithm and help the channel out. We appreciate that. Once again, thank you for joining us. We hope you come back and see us again real soon. Till that time, if you're out there rolling those bones, we wish you nothing but the best of luck. And we hope all your rolls come up winners. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.